Wonderful. Well, thank you all for coming. First day, first session. I really appreciate that. So, of course, that's better than the last day, last session, because we know what that means. You've been out for 3 nights doing all kinds of, well, we're not Vegas, right? So what happens in Chicago? No, it doesn't have the same ring to it. I don't know, something like that. Well, when I was thinking about the topic for this presentation, TSA always wants me to bring something brand new. My topics come from conversations I have with folks like you. I go around the country, now I travel around the world, and I speak to wedding professionals, event professionals, entrepreneurs, business people. And I say, so how's business? And I almost always hear, I'm busy. Okay, you're busy. Are you happy? You making any money? You're busy, but that's okay. But what does that really mean? So I started thinking about it. Are you too busy to actually be successful? Is it possible to be too busy to be successful? Because you're always busy, but people tell me they're not making enough money. So where's the correlation there? So in this constantly connected world, there's so much pulling for our attention, right? What does your list look like? Family, work, spirituality, volunteering, social connections. What else is on your list? I know our lists go on and on and on and on. And the bigger our worlds get, when we go from 1 business to 3 businesses, all of a sudden, our world is that much bigger. So what's really pulling for our time? So if keeping busy isn't the problem, is making money the problem? Is having enough time for your family the problem? What is the issue if you're busy? Or is there an issue? Maybe there's no issue at all. Maybe you're thrilled, you're busy, you're happy, you're making money, everything's great. Or not. Let's see. TGIF, TGIM. Now this is interesting because in the wedding and event business, for most people, TGIF is the end of their work week. For wedding and event industry, very often TGIF is the beginning of it. So regardless of how you look at this, do you look forward to the beginning of your work week or do you look forward to the end of your work week? If all you're doing is working for the weekend in this industry, that's great because you're working on the weekend, so that's wonderful. But if what you're doing is looking forward to when everything is done so you can finally have some me time, finally some personal time, do you love what you do or do you dread it? I love the beginning of my work week because I love what I do. I'm fortunate that way. Can't say it was always that way. As a matter of fact, 22 years ago, I got into this industry because I hated what I did. I hated getting up in the morning. I hated going and working half a day, 9 to 9. You know those half a days, right? Half a day, 9 to 9, and then lock the doors so I could do paperwork for another hour or two to go home to my pregnant wife with my 3-year-old son who was asleep to start over and do it again the next day. Making good money, but hating it. Thank goodness, too. Because when a friend called me up and said, do you want a commission-only sales job selling wedding advertising? And my wife was pregnant, 3-year-old son, straight commission. No minimum, no guarantee, no draw, no expenses. Oh, and I had to give back a company car that I had to take this job, so I had to go buy a car. I should not have taken that job, but thank goodness I did. But that's how much I hated what I was doing before. So the money isn't certainly going to make you happy. So in order to take the pulse of my audience, the people that I'm connected with, I have an email list of about 9,000 or 10,000. If you go to my website, that could be 9,001, 2, 3. We can add a few more people. By the way, has anybody here never seen me speak before? All right, you'll never be able to say that again, so thank you. Well, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. So I did this survey, and I asked 10 questions, 10 simple questions. There's a piece of paper I handed out to all of you. The survey's on there. I invite you to take it. If you didn't get a piece of paper, there's probably some more at the back of the room. 10 easy questions. I'm going to run through some of the results here because I found them to be very, very interesting, and I think you will as well. So the first question was simple. Are you busy? Yes or no, are you busy? 58% almost said that they were busy. 38% said usually, and 3.8% said rarely. I think those are the few people that were retired that took my survey. I'm not sure. But I don't know anybody who's rarely ever busy. But usually is more the case there. So if you're busy, and 96% people said that they're busy always or usually, what are you busy with? Well, not surprisingly, it's work. Does that sound like you? Should sound like most of us, right? We're busy with work. And then family, and then other, and other ranged from, a bunch of different things. But then I said, do you consider yourself to be successful? Now, how would you answer that? Right? Now, the interesting thing is I didn't say what success means. I asked first, are you successful? 57% said yes, 20% said no, 23% said, not sure. I'm not sure. So I said, well, if you're not sure, what does that mean? And here are some of the responses. Yes, based on my reputation and PR, but no based on my monetary goals. Sound familiar? Yes on a creative level, no if judged by financial success.